Ready to roll. A little Sunday edition of Gulfstream today, live from our paddock studios, beautiful Gulfstream Park on this Sunday, June the 4th. Delighted to have you with us here. Jason Blewett alongside the track's main handicapper, and Ron Nicoletti. It's good to have you back. And how you feeling today?
Oh, good. I'm ready to go. I was up in Ocala for the day, and now back here in South Florida and ready to go. And looks like we got some sunshine out today. We're going to start the day with that sloppy main track.
Yep.
Good turf course. Days like this, things will progress nicely throughout the afternoon.
All right, great having Ronnie back. Great to have you with us as well. And settle in. This is a long one. 11 races, my friend, on this Sunday card. Just 6 days out from this coming Saturday's Belmont Stakes. And as Ronnie so perfectly put it, we are sloppy, but we will get plenty of turf in on the program listed as good. And we dive right into race number 1 as far as what's on tap today. A little super high five carryover of just under $3,500. That opener at around 115 will coincide with the opening leg of the first of 2 pick 5s on the program. I'll have a ticket coming up a bit later. In fact, a few moments from now on Gulfstream today. And how about, Ronnie, this Rainbow Six carryover? Wow, big balloons.
Yeah, we're getting near that $1 million, that special $1 million mark. You know, once you get there, things get really crazy, but really nice day, starting with over $640,000. So it's going to skyrocket. And this is when, if you don't get interested, you've got to get interested. You know, because here's a chance to get that for 20 cents. Or even if you put, like I put together, like a $40 ticket, you got a good shot to hit it.
Very reasonable. Maybe get a few partners, throw a few bucks in, and have a good time. That's what this game is all about. And, of course, we expect Ronnie to be alive after the sequence begins in race number 6, and we'll look to pad his live Rainbow Six ticket with my late pick 5 ticket, and of course, hopefully you'll put one in as well. Race number 7, the starting point for that. So without further ado, sloppy and good. Sun trying to poke through the clouds, but it's very mild as far as the temperature goes down here for this time of the year in Hallandale Beach, or so I am told as a Gulfstream rookie. And let's dive in, Ronnie. A little action here, the first of 11, and again, that first race so important. Not only is it the opener, it's the opening leg of the early pick 5, and here's a little play coming your way. Wanted a single, one of the Pletcher firsters in the 4th race. I was hoping maybe you had some steam or a tip on who might be the better one. I struck out in that department. So we're going to use both the 1 Firefoot and the 3 Sweat and Saddle, and no singles to be had. I think it's a pretty tricky sequence, $36 to play. We will use both the 2 and 3 Love Flute, who's taking a big drop in class in today's first, and the horse you and I picked on top, the number 3 Our Sweet Exchange. Not a miler, but I do think that last race a means to an end, meaning a 5-furlong sprint today.
When dropping to the $10,000 level, turning back to her a good distance. She's had 7 starts, a couple of wins, a couple of seconds in there, and returned from the layoff. She dueled for lead. She faded. It was $16,000 state bred optional claimers, and that was that was going a mile. So she's run well at this distance in the past, and I think it sets her up. And more importantly, Jason, I think it's the drop that's going to help her today.
Like the drop as well. We like trainer Ralph Zadie, who's been on a major run. Geez, I've been here about a month. I don't think his percentage has dipped below 40 in the racing form, and it's still above 40, in fact, as we get on to the first with the 1 Our Sweet Exchange. We also got a hot riding Edgar Zayas, who had 3 wins on yesterday's card. You were up in Ocala watching the action. Edgar had a hot hand. Now, the 2 Love Flute I like a bit more than you. It's a horse also taking a huge drop in class, and it's just night and day from what she faced last time out on May 13th. No matter what happens, no matter what kind of trip she pulls, I think she'll get a better ride and a more ground-saving ride with Luca Panici riding. I like the 3-2 to the hoop. You like 3-5.
Yeah, 3-5 for me. 3-2, just 0 for 10s over on the win column, but certainly got to have it somewhere in your ticket if you're going that deep.
Yeah, let's give a pop to Nano's crown. In fact, I've got her 3rd. You've got her 2nd. Not to spend too much time on the 1st, but she does bring that early speed to the party with Carlos Montalvo.
Yeah, she's going to try and make it 2 in a row. She shipped in from Tampa, dueled early, drew clear, then hold on to defeat similar. She held on to win it by a neck, but she's got that speed. And this is, as you mentioned, a very important part of today, because this is when you have to watch how the turf course might play today and how, other horses. And there you see the performance right there.
Yep, held on here with those white blinkers. We'll see as far as who may be sparring in the early stages. You have Nano's Crown, of course, the number 6, 0 out, and even our pick, the 3, Our Sweet Exchange, I think will be close up on the drop. We'll see. Race number 1 on the turf. Plenty of racing, though, and bring those mud caulks, bring those boots to work today, because there's plenty of slop to go around. No question about it. Very wet track, but a fair and even racetrack. Looking at the Saturday card, that was the real, I thought, silver lining to a day it was raining on and off. The main track was very fair with no bias at all, at least in my opinion. 62.50, 3-and-up claimers in the second half of the early double, Mr. Ron. 1 mile the distance, and you've got a number of horses in here with previous form, and you do have one in the form of the 5, Magnanimous Mind, who's the only runner in the race coming in off a victory, and we'll look at that win back on May 21st. We could take us through. In fact, you can display or at least show and talk about, Ron, how game this horse was in the white cap down inside.
Yeah, I mean, she just was dueling from start to finish, and she held on, and she had showed, she showed some blurred interest, and she won, and she held on very gamely in there. Antonio Sano, Miguel Vasquez, she was defeated these, 6,250 claimers. Look at it right there. Yeah, words not needed. She would not let that other horse go by her in the stretch.
I do think, to be fair, though, in a very gritty effort, but speed and inside speed was what you wanted on May 21st, and for me, that was the kind of one defining negative of the 5, Magnanimous Mind, who will not be a big price. And I see you and I in agreement with the 6, Morichal, who hasn't been out in about 3+ months, and I just like the idea with the horse who was pretty good here, relatively speaking, in the form department during the championship meet. Pull back a bit, little bit of a layoff, a freshening, and I would expect this one to come back running.
And that was my key, too. We faced better in those 3 previous races at the distance, stretches out first start, showed that late interest in a pair of 6,250 sprints at the championship meet, as you mentioned, during February. I think this horse sits the trip behind what I think is going to be, pace. There's going to be a pace up front, but I'm not sure it's the pace that someone's going to run away from it.
Yeah, I'm hoping nobody gets loose, because if there is a loose on the lead winner, it might just be the 5, Magnanimous Mind, who you like a little more than me. We also gave a quick pop, and we'll give a little dissertation on the 7, High Quality Prince, who it does seem like one turn is really his game.
Yeah, he's coming back to the 1-turn mile, 12 races, two wins, 4 seconds, 3/3, made that middle move, flattened out, went 4th. That was going a mile into 16th, albeit that was on a sloppy track, so we have to see how this horse is going to run in today's situation. And I just think you're right. The 1-turn mile is better for this horse.
Yeah, 1 turn really seems like that's his best game, and he hits pretty hard and consistently good for 62.50. Race number 3 on the program, a number of key rematches going on in this third, which, by the way, group of 12-5 3-and-up claimers will run in one of the longer races, if not the longest on today's card, as we go the mile and a furlong on Gulfstream Park's turf course, listed as quote-unquote good today. And in talking about the last out rematch for today's race, I think the crew on May 18th kind of steals the show. And man, we got a really good battle down to the wire just 17 days ago here at Gulfstream Park between the 6 LaSalle and the 7 Lay It Down. It's a race we will show you here on Gulfstream today, whereas LaSalle and Lay It Down basically just hooked up. In fact, I am wrong about that. We do have a stat on Lay It Down. I watched the race again this morning. I'm like, why didn't I send a replay? Because it was such a good race. But we do have a stat here on Lay It Down. My fault there. Tammy Levy, very good trainer. I know Pete Aiello, our track announcer, has sung her praises, and I've been impressed with the limited starters she's had this spring and summer meet at Gulfstream Park. I like the 7 Lay It Down, who, again, I should have pulled the replay. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it, because it is worth taking another look.
Well, there's 3 horses in this race. LaSalle, Lay It Down, and 2 Jacks Wild. So LaSalle, I went that way. Lay It Down, I put in second. LaSalle moved to the Saffie Joseph Jr. barn. After that claim, steps up slightly to this 12-5 level. As we were saying, duel throughout to defeat $10,000 claimers at this 9 furlong distance. He's really good with the claim, and that's why I went there. 36%, keeps the status quo. He's got Luca Panici in the saddle. But I can understand going with Lay It Down.
Yeah, clearly as far as ability longevity goes, they're very comparable in terms of overall talent. They both have excellent trainers, 2 top riders in C.J. McMahon and Luca Panici, and they both are likely to get acquainted with one another early on because they both show speed. You and I both in agreement, we're not big fans of the morning line favorite, the number 3 for all the marbles, who's dropping down. I just think he's meeting significant firepower here for 12.5. This is not an easy field.
No, it's not an easy field, and I didn't even put, as you can see, not on my ticket there. I did use the 5, who was 3rd behind the horses we were just talking about, LaSalle, and Lay It Down. So we keep with that deja vu theme in here. The Skelded Son of Colonel John, I think, sucks up and grabs his share in here. If the 3 beats me, he beats me.
All right, I like the attitude, and there's always another race. That's the beauty of life at the racetrack and here at Gulfstream Park. And that next race, win or lose, and we hope you do cash and you're alive in the early pick 5, happens to be Sunday's 4th as we head back to the sloppy main track. These are 3-and-up filly and mare maidens running in the special weight, a $42,000 purse, half a dozen ready to roll, and very few scratches on today's card. We're happy about that. We're also happy to see, I don't know if the rival horsemen can say the same, but we're glad trader Todd Pletcher, it's good to see his name in the entries on a pretty much a daily basis down here all the way into June, and we're told he's leaving horses here throughout the summer, training at Palm Beach Downs. And which Pletcher do you want? The 1 Firefoot, the number 3 Sweat and Saddle?
Well, here's how I went with it. I threw
roll the dice?
Yeah, I did. Thought the inside post is tough for a first-time starter, so I did go with Sweat and Saddle. But you were absolutely right in your early pick 5 ticket. I don't think you can leave either one off. So I went Sweat and Saddle, $360,000 daughter of Spikestown, debuting for Todd Pletcher, as we mentioned. Got those 9 Palm Beach Downs workouts showing in preparation for the debut. You're getting Tyler Gaffleone, so that was my slight push over the 1 Firefoot, who's got to deal with the inside post. And always a little bit of a concern for me.
I like Spikestown more than I do Tapizar. They're both good stallions. Spikestown with a nice win in yesterday's Penn Mile, and Frostmorn up at Penn National. Things did not work out for Tyler G., who went up to ride Bronson for the Pletcher barn, but this will be Tyler Gaffleone's first mount on today's card here at Gulfstream Park. I think he had 4 wins on Thursday, another 3-bagger on Friday afternoon. He's clearly at the top of his game. As not to harp on 2 firsters, Ron, that'll be prohibitive favorites. You got to think there's a good chance Firefoot and Sweat and Saddle can both be under 2-1. But here's a what have you done for me lately? If you're concerned about, quote unquote, the quality of the stock that the Pletcher barn has left here in South Florida during the summertime, just straight up maidens over the last 30 days. How do you like batting 47%?
Yeah, I mean, 89% in the money. Am I reading that right there?
You are, yes. 17 for 19 in the money. And we've seen time and time again maiden races here, special weights at Gulfstream during this meet in which the Pletcher barn has 2, and they wind up running just 1-2.
Now, we're talking about first-time starters, and the horse that we both put in 3rd, the number 4, Ecliptical Rosette, must be respected. She's the most accomplished runner in the field thus far. She's got those 3 starts, and I just think that maybe she's the one that, with the previous experience, Mike Yates does a good job, Lionel Reyes in the saddle. You got to deal with the Pletchers, but there's a horse you got to sort of take a second look at.
All right, fair enough. Let's get on to race number 5, my friend. Another turfer here as we go the 7.5 furlongs. These are 3-and-up filly and mare, 12.5 maiden claimers. 8 are signed on in race number 5, and for me, this is a race, and I see you agree, that very much boils down to the horses towards the inside. The inside post, I thought, was where the quote-unquote heavy artillery, was. Now, Bossiata, we can use the spotlight here and backtrack thanks to the boys upstairs, and looking at her last out tough neck loss at Gulfstream Park on May 20th. Kind of tracked the runoff speed in this race, put her away, and at times this stretch, both on the turf and dirt at Gulfstream, is agonizing. I mean, this is a tough loss for the number 1 last time, Bossiata.
Yeah, I mean, just got beat. He was the favorite that afternoon, and I thought she ran exceptionally well. But as we've seen in the past, in this particular day, if you remember, Jason, horses that were closing down the center of the course seemed to be doing okay that particular afternoon. Not that it's not always fair, it just seemed that way. Whether it was because they went fast early, and that was a tough loss.
That's a good nugget there, though. Yeah. I forgot, actually, you wanted kind of wide and off the pace runners on that May 20th fifth card. So perhaps Bossiata, even though the neck was a brutal beat neck, maybe it was a better effort than even looks on paper. She is no doubt dangerous in this 12-5 maiden claimer. I am not really a fan of the one Anthony Lass. I'll let you talk about why you like her, even though she is well connected for sure.
Well, she's going to depart from the rail after breaking towards the outside. Last time that was post 7, duel for lead, yielded late, finished third, beaten a half length at this level in distance. Angel Rodriguez, Tyler Gaffalione winning races together. This team at over 30%, 33%. Yeah. So we've mentioned this in the past. Turf maybe not their strongest suit.
Yeah, and that concerns me a little bit with this stat. And again, I'm not saying Anthony Lass won't win or can't win. Just a little cause for pause on a horse that's likely, again, because of the Calabrese, Angel Rodriguez, and Tyler Gaffalione affiliation, likely to be overbet. Just straight up second off the claim on the turf the last 5 years, just 1 for 14, and a sample of 14 starters, littered, of course, with short price runners. So that being said, I'm going to take the 2 Lancaster. Do I like this horse as 0 for a dozen? No. But there's something to be said, A, about being well connected with Jorge Ruiz and trainer Larry Bates, and B, and I think most importantly, it's a big drop, and I think a needed drop to the bottom here on the turf.
And that's why she's here. She's a daughter of English Channel. She's dropping to this 12-5 level. She hit the board in one of 2 recent turf outings at the $25,000 level. So simple math just tells you 25, 12-5. This is a good spot for this horse. You mentioned the connections. I got her in second. I would not be shocked if she won it at all.
All right, use her in your pick 5.
Oh, without a doubt.
And we'll be seeing, in fact, here's a little teaser. Ron Nicoletti's Sunday Rainbow 6 coming your way after this quick timeout. Don't go anywhere.
At ExpressBet, we celebrate the champions that make horse racing great. That's why we provide more ways to bet from more places than ever. We've built an entire family of brands to give players more of the rewards they deserve, give bettors the information they need to win, and provide a community for horse bettors. Because the best way to support the champions of horse racing is to champion horse racing. ExpressBet. We are racing.
We welcome you back. Live Sunday edition of Gulfstream today. I'd say we're at the half-mile pole or so of our run at beautiful Gulfstream Park. We talked about 5. We've got 6 more left to talk about. And, of course, this is the real sort of meat and potatoes of the program today at Gulfstream Park, Ron. Rainbow 6 time. And what's the play looking like?
Well, we got a $48.60 ticket. Went 3 deep. But just seeing race number 7, I'm taking a shot with Biamonte, who's dropping to the 30 level. And just thought coming out of a key race, anybody that's run with Vendita around has run well. So I'm singling there, and I went 3 deep the rest of the way down, and see if we can get it with $48.60. So my day is on the number 5 horse in race number 7.
Well, good. I hope you get through your 3-horse spread in race number 6, which, by the way, we lost a couple of horses, couple of firsters. The one meant to be mine and the number 5, White Winter, have been scratched out of race 6. That leaves us with a 6-horse field. I am not good at math, but using 3 horses here, you've got 50% of the field. So you better get through to your single Biamonte in race number 7. Now, I got to tell you, and I'll tell everybody out there as well, excited to see what we get from the firster on the outside, the 8 Curlin's Mistress, owned and bred by Happy Altar Racing, certainly going out for a high-powered operation of Marty Wolfson, and we are more than familiar with the family here. Luca Panici rides from the outside post. We'll get the bullets up there, and we'll talk a little bit about Curlin's Mistress. Now, the dam has gotten up there in age. She's 23 years old. She's been a prolific producer with multiple winners throughout the family. I'd say the best one, the near $400,000 earning Curlin's Approval, who's pretty good, maybe a cut below the best older fillies and mares in the country. You got the outside post. What do you think? Do you think we might see a runner today with the 8 Curlin's Mistress?
You know, in Royal Delta, won the Grade 3 Hurricane Birdie. I mean, won the Grade 2 Royal Delta, actually won, and the Grade 3 Hurricane Birdie. Happy Altar, trainer Marty Wolfson, solid work tab showing. I think that this horse horse, you know, it runs to back to its breeding, can be very well. But you and I both went with the number 7 on top. Now, pray tell, why did you do that?
Well, who's calling? The boys in blue are calling. And we think who's calling will be getting to the winner's circle today. Got that speed, maybe a little faster than the 3R Precious, who is, no question about it, a major wild card after just being hammered out at 9-5 in that turf debut and running an okay third. But I do think we've got the best speed horse in the race, and I do think maybe it's just a case of who's calling, landing in a race where she's the best horse going in, and perhaps the 8 Curlin's Mistress, even with that big pedigree, might just need one.
Yeah, might need a race in there, and that was my thinking too. I just thought the tactical advantage went to the 7 who's calling. Got, as we mentioned, Curlin's Mistress, as I mentioned, a full assist to the grade to Curlin's approval. So I just thought, you know, just on the breeding alone, you got to use that horse. I did not use the 3.
No R Precious for you at all.
No, I backed off the 3, and that's what I was saying there, and I went with Lonesome Palm, who I, you know, was third behind a repeat winner, and I threw that one on the ticket. But I will go back and research the number 3 in race number 6, and that's, we'll see why I left it out.
Yeah, you got Tyler Gaffleone riding, second time out for the Fox Barn, who wish farewell. I got a kick out of seeing the horseman via David Fox's Twitter, who's worth a follow, by the way, on Twitter, with Cajun, Delta Dawn, and Florida Fabulous. They were both leaving the backstretch area here at Gulfstream Park with a date, well, for Belmont Stakes Racing Festival. Both those horses running up in New York.
Yeah, and that is next Saturday, and don't forget to come out and join us. The best place to watch the Belmont Stakes, if you're not there, is right here.
Yep, be here or be square. I think that's what they say. All right, with the Rainbow 6 opening leg out of the way, we can turn the page. We'll come up on race number 7, Mr. Ron. We are back on the grass, going a 2-turn mile with this 3-and-up filly and mare, $30,000 to $25,000 claimer. Late pick 5 time. You happen to single the 5 Biamonte, who, again, after I went back and kind of got prepped for the show this morning, probably should have had the horse a little higher than ranked in the 3rd spot. I went 4-1-5 after scratches, but no question about it. Biamonte on the drop for $30K is on my late pick 5 ticket. If we get there and it's a shaky single, I just needed to keep the cost of the ticket down, and my feeling is and was, if we can somehow navigate our way through the opening 4 legs, we'll get a free roll on the 7 American Czar, who is having his claiming price slashed in half, and it's top connections hanging around for the last race. Gaffleone riding for Safi. If we get there, maybe we'll get a free roll at a much higher payoff with the 7 American Czar. Now, when getting to the field here for the 7th race, Ron, we've got a group of horses, including Biamonte, who, man, oh man, I was not down here at the time, but she got on a major run last summer.
Yeah, she was real good last summer.
Yeah.
She's dropping to this 30 condition claiming level. She started the pace. She finished 6th, but it was behind that hard-knocking campaign, a repeat winner, Vendita, and a next out winner called Be Playful, and that was a really fruitful $35,000 optional claimer during April. Eddie Broom, Tyler Gaffleone, 3-time winner at the distance. So all those things, you know, I like Cowgirl, Tough Girl, the horse you have on top, but I just thought, you know, you try and keep your ticket affordable. This is where I would single, at least at my ticket.
No, you've got Gaffleone, who just doesn't make many mistakes.
Right.
In fact, I can't recall one mistake I've seen him make over the last few racing cards, just riding in his zone, and clearly she is well meant on the dip in class to $30K. And you would think the same could be said for the Tampa-based trainer, who's now with us at Gulfstream Park, and Gerald Bennett. Got off to a good start last week. I jumped on the bandwagon, and his horses were not winning. Hoping I don't stop the 4 Cowgirl Tough, who's the other sort of main drop-down class relief horse in the race.
And she's returning to one of her favorite courses. You look at this, she's had 3 races here with 2 wins. She ended her grass campaign at Tampa with that 5th place finish. That was a $62,000 optional claimer at the distance. She fits perfectly with this level of competition. When I love when horses ship in, if they ran well here in the past, most of the time they will roll in again, you know, unless it's some certain situation. So I think it's a major player in there. If I was going to go too deep, that would be my
She's
other
the
horse.
other. All right, that gives me some confidence I'm going to get through this race in my late pick 5, which will continue, as will the Rainbow 6, with $640K plus in the kitty. with today's 8th race, and this is a good one. Not the technical feature on today's card, but I don't think this 8th race for the Florida-bred fillies and mares and this allowance optional claimer takes a back seat to any race on today's card. Solid field with a number of question marks. Meets at 6 furlongs over the sloppy main track, and perhaps the biggest enigma running on the program today, the number 4, She's Got the Look. She didn't have the look last time out. It really is amazing looking at her lifetime cut. You get both sides of the spectrum. We got the bad, she's got the look just 21 days ago on May 14th. Backtracking, though, to August 4th of 2016 in a well-touted debut, a debut we'll look at. I mean, she was putting in her best impersonation of Secretariat.
Yeah, she was just out there cruising on the front end. You know, very impressive performance. Won that race by over 16 lengths, and you could see it there. Then comes back and doesn't fare very well. That was in the Todd Pletcher barn, and now it takes this big drop down. You know, it finds a spot for David Fox.
Yeah, if you can't beat him, join him. Fox got the better of She's Got the Look most recently in that May 14th return with Sweet Tooth Haven, who's running here on Wednesday's card. A wickedly tough 8-race card on Wednesday. Those PPs are out. You may want to get to work as soon as this card ends today. I'm respecting today. She's Got the Look a little more than you in the second spot. Neither one of us obviously picked her on top. And I just like the 8 Flashjacks post. And it does seem... Now, at a time, she was a consistently solid bottom-level 6250 caliber mare. It seems like she's one of these horses that had some back class that her current trainer, Rohan Crichton, who's got 2 in the race, by the way, he has just got her in such a zone, and I don't think she's been better than ever than she currently is, and I'm hoping the party continues from the outside post.
Yeah, she's turning back to 6 furlongs. She followed that victory at this level and distance in the slop with a well-meant second-place finish. That was going 7/8 of a mile last time out. You mentioned the connections. Apprentice Abby Medina making for the feathery journey in there. But I did go with the number 1 South in here. And South moved to the Saffie Joseph Jr. barn after that claim. Stretches out 3/4 of a mile. Posted her second consecutive victory, defeating 30 condition claimers going 5.5. Nikki Figueroa in the saddle. I like this horse. Not that I like it unbelievably in the spot. I just like this horse. I like this horse and the way it runs, and I think this horse is going to run well this afternoon. I don't know what price it is on the morning line.
9-2.
9-2.
Yeah, 4.5 to 1.
Yeah.
And that adds another layer to the race. You have some of the lower-level horses in the past, like South and Flashjack, running against some flashier horses you might at a time have thought, well, they're just at a higher quality than the likes of South and Flashjack. That might not be the case, and I'd say that's probably the biggest subplot in today's 8th. And, of course, we wait with bated breath to see what She's Got the Look can do first time out for David Fox. Featured 9th race on the card. It's a solid late pick 4, late pick 5, and Rainbow 6. You definitely, and this is not a shill job, you've got some quality here down the stretch at Gulfstream Park, and a very good field of 5-furlong turf specialists, and one that includes a horse in Starship Wildcat, who, man, he has been very good, having won 3 of his last 4, most recently just held on by a half length. What do you think of the 4 Starship Wildcat? In fact, Ron says that string of good races, not happening today.
Yeah, I did not use this one on there. We're going to show this performance last time out, and I just didn't use it. I got hung up with Brandy's Girl and didn't go deep, and you see this performance, and it was pretty good, running last time out.
Yeah, hounded every step of the way by the horse to his outside in the number 4 Independence Way. He's finally able to take that horse out of the picture, and then he's got a new challenge from the number 3 Padilla, and he's able to kind of re-break and resurge there at the finish line. He does go up in class, and he's facing some horses who have hit pretty hard for a long amount of time, running against some of the richer, classier turf specialists, turf sprint specialists here in South Florida. So we'll learn a bit more about where Starship Wildcat stands. An Extravagant Kid, what a ride he got last time out. A race we'll show you 70 days ago via the spotlight here at Gulfstream Park from Tyler Gaffleone, who's not aboard today, but you can watch this horse basically sit the pocket and then angle outside.
Yeah, he was, he rallied 3 wide. He defeated, the horse that I have on top, last time out, Brandy's Choice, your girl in that particular race. I should say. So a horse that I think you got to have on your ticket, going to break from the inside this afternoon.
Yeah, inside post, getting the services of Edgar Zayas off his 3-win Saturday with Tyler Gaffleone out. out. Miguel Vasquez and Edgar Zayas stole the show yesterday as far as putting up W's in the jockey colony at Gulfstream Park. Now, talk to me a little bit about the 3 Brandy's Girl, who's facing the boys here, but she's solid.
She's a multiple stakes place performer sprinting on the grass. She's making her first start. She dueled through swift fractions last time out. She finished 4th. It was a very tough 62,500 optional claimer on March 26. Eddie Broom, Tyler Gaffleone facing the boys. I like the fact that Tyler jumped on board for Brandy's Girl, going to beat the boys this afternoon.
Yep, she gets on a little lighter if you're a weight guy. She carries a $114, and Tyler G for Eddie Broom, who you believe and feel will have a big second half to the program. You like Biamonte as a potential Rainbow Six single, a few races back, and Brandy's Girl versus the boys in race number 9. French Quarter is where I went, by the way. Well, I'm still waiting for him off that high price claim with the Fox Barn to really take a step forward. My feeling and my gut feeling is he'll do it today, getting back on the turf. I'm a fan of French Quarter as a racehorse.
Yeah, he finished 3rd in that $100,000 big drama on the main track, going 7/8 of a mile. I just wanted to watch. I mean, I got him on the ticket, don't get me wrong. I got him on there, but Brandy's Girl to beat the boys this afternoon. I need Sappy Joseph Jr. and certainly need Tyler Gaffleone to make my day work.
All right, top connections, and those are the boys I have in the nightcap. Hopefully we get live to them in the late pick 5, but we got to get through race number 10 before that. That's right, the opening leg of the late double on the program will go at 7.5 furlongs, 3 and up filly and mare, $10,000 claimers. My opinion with the ones they are going to bet, mainly the number 7 being Daddy's Song, the 6 Beauty of a Day, and the number 3 Walking Primrose, not sold there. I am just going to ride, and it's a stab, just because of the hot barn and the high percentage, getting Ralph Zaidi to price with the 1 Magic 2.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the way to go in there because the rest of the horses just seem to be just okay in that particular race. And yeah, they're good to go for a price. I mean, Beauty of the Day is dropping to the 10 level. Followed that 12-5 2 lifetime score, comes back, runs 4th against 16. Claim is going a mile last time out. There's nothing there that I said that sells you. It's just that I think it's a good spot.
Good spot in for the dime, right? Absolutely. You got Gaffleone once again, who lays low. First 3 races, he sits out today. The final 2/3 of this program, he is on one major. Yeah, no kidding. And we'll see if your pick in the 10th, Beauty of a Day, can make your day in the 10th race here for Elizabeth Doblers. And we'll do race number 11 quite quickly here as we finish off the racing week, a 4-day week here at Gulfstream Park with a group of 12-5 claimers. Always nice to end things with a bulky size field on the main track, and we have it here in the nightcap. 7-1 for me, American Czar, who again has not worked out off the trainer change. He's got that maiden 12-5 win at 4-5 back in March. His races since then have been so-so at best. Cut that claim price in half, and I'm going to take him in the nightcap. You'll go to the inside. Cookies are good. Oh, they definitely are. My Christina, by the way, I got home from work yesterday, freshly baked chocolate chip cookies on a rainy Saturday here at Gulfstream, and you look great, dude.
Did you bring him in?
No. They're all gone.
Yeah, drop into the 12-5 level. Cookies are good. Shipped in from the fairgrounds, ran 6, but against a hard-knocking horse, a repeat winner called DeRocher. That was a 25 optional claimer. Leo Gabriel Jr., Nicky Figueroa, I think the drop. You're playing with DeRocher. You fit at the 12-5 level.
All right, you heard the man, the 12-5 level. Okay here in the nightcap for Cookies are good. That's a long way from now, though. Settle in. Another good one coming your way, including track announcer Pete Aiello, who is up, well, in a few moments with the opening set of Sunday's Scratches and Changes.